everyone, it's Max and welcome to a new week's reading vlog. It's Monday, it is 10:51 in the morning, and so I'm feeling good. I just cleaned out all the orders that I needed to open in my inbox, which is like really great. I'm all caught up, which compared to last week is good. Last week was a lot, but now I'm feeling really good about everything. But I thought I'd go over the books I want to get to. So I do have quite the ambitious TBR. I have 4 books I want to finish, one of which I am currently reading. This is my audiobook. I'm currently almost halfway through Bloodhound by Tamora Pierce. I'm like 40-something% of the way through, and I'm really liking this. This is the sequel to Terrier by Tamora Pierce, which is in the Becca Cooper Chronicles, which I'm absolutely loving. I love Becca as a main character. And I think I can tell you like the synopsis of the second book because it's not related to the synopsis of the first one. So Becca is now a full-fledged cop, and in this world they're dogs. And so like Bloodhound is like, oh my god, my battery's flashing. I forget I need to charge this. Let's see how much I can talk. But they're dogs, and so she's like a full-fledged cop, and she is sent to a different city to kind of see why silvers are showing up that are fake, and she's with her partner and they are trying to figure that out. I gotta charge my battery and I'll come back to you with synopses for the rest of the books. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. So then I have 3 physical books I want to read, or non-audiobooks, and the first one is the first of 2 arcs that I have on my month's TBR, and it is The Gilded Ones, which comes out tomorrow. So I do have to read that. I'm giving myself 2 days to read that, today and tomorrow. Thankfully, the archive date on NetGalley isn't until March, so I should be able to finish it just fine. This is about a world where people's blood either runs red or gold, and once they hit a certain age, they are tested. If their blood runs red, they're fine, they're safe, they live the rest of their lives. If their blood runs gold, I believe they're given the choice to either die or go fight for this immortal army of gold-blooded people. And our main character's blood tests gold, and she decides to go fight for the army. That is all I know. I'm really excited. I've heard, you know, I don't think I've heard anyone who's read it, but it was an arc in a Fairy Loot somewhat recently, and anytime that I've gotten an arc from Fairy Loot, I have really enjoyed it. So I am hoping to really like this. I think once it's published, I guess that's literally tomorrow, I think it is going to take book 2 by storm. I think a lot of people are going to be reading it because I have been seeing it everywhere. So I'm really excited to be able to pick this up. The next book that I want to read is the next sci-fi this month, which I guess this is only like the second one, but I've got just quite a few sci-fi on my TBR compared to like other years, so I'm really excited. And that's A Memory Called Empire by Arcady Martine, and this is about a woman, I think, Mahit, yes, who is an ambassador, and she's sent to a new post because the last ambassador died, and people refuse to believe is anything but natural causes, but she is sure that he was killed or they were killed, and she is next. There's also an expansion plotline where she's trying to save her small, like, what's it called, like, station from like this expansion, and there's a technological secret. I don't know, I'm literally just taking buzzwords from the back, but this won the like Hugo Award or the Nebula Award for 2020, so I'm really hoping to enjoy this. And the last book, oh, and I'm giving myself 3 days to read that, so Wednesday through Friday. And then the last book I want to pick up is one that I'm really excited about, and definitely one of the most anticipated ones for me on this month's TBR, and that's The Library of the Unwritten by A.J. Hackwith. And this is about a girl who's a librarian in hell, and there's a place in hell where all unfinished books go to, and she just kind of organizes them and takes care of them and stops characters from escaping. But when the hero of a book escapes to go find his author, her assistant and a demon go to find that hero, but an angel is on their case because he thinks that they have the devil's Bible, whatever that is. I am so excited. Again, I haven't heard like anyone who's read this, but I've seen it everywhere as like people owning it. I am so excited. I love like a library, like especially like a fantastical library plot. This has it, the Starless Sea, oh, the City of Dreaming Books. Like I love that plot line where there's like a secret library, especially when like characters from books can like come to life as it did in this. I am really pumped. I'm hoping I can love it and just go on to the sequel and love it just as much. So So that is it for this week. It's a lot. And so Monday and Tuesday, I want to read the Gilded one. I keep wanting to say the Gilded Wolves, but it's not. I did not like that. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for A Memory Called Empire. And then Saturday and Sunday for The Library of the Unwritten. And then I do want to finish Bloodhound on Saturday. At the latest, because then I've got another audiobook that I want to listen to, and it's an arc of My Contrary Mary, which is about Mary Queen of Scots by the Lady Janies. I'm so excited. It was going to be The Lost Tudor Princess by Alison Weir. This is for a book by an auto-read author for TBR cards, but I just decided to change it because I really want to get to this, and it's not published until, I've got it right up here. It's not published until June, but I do just want to get to it because I'm really excited and I want to read it as soon as possible. And I also got a different audiobook for something that I want to listen to next month, and I also have an audiobook for the last book in the Becca Cooper series. So those are the two audiobooks I want to listen to next month. So this month I just really want to get to My Contrary Mary, and so I am going to listen to that instead of The Lost Tudor Princess. And that's okay because Cynthia Hand is definitely an auto-read author for me, and this like series is definitely an auto-read series for me. So it still definitely fits the prompt. I'm just deciding to change it because I'm definitely relaxing on my whole Alison Weir thing. I've like really wanted to like read a book of hers a month last year, and it kind of just, like, I think that I'm gonna like The Lost Tudor Princess, but it's a lot longer than I expected, and February is the shortest month, and it's like 8.5 hours longer than My Contrary Mary. I'm gonna listen to My Contrary Mary instead. But I'm gonna get back to work, and I'm going to try and read some of the Gilded one during lunch because I have to read like 216 pages a day to be able to finish it, which is a little longer than I wanted, especially because I'm just starting to get out of a reading slump. I was in a pretty bad reading slump in the end of January. I took the whole last week off from reading. I didn't read anything, but I'm feeling a lot better, especially because I really, really liked A Local Habitation by Seanan McGuire, which I just finished yesterday. Like, really liked it. I had a blast. I can't wait to pick up the third one. So I'm feeling really in the mood to read. So I'm hoping that I'm gonna love these books, because if I don't, I know I'm just gonna plummet right back into the reading slump. So we shall see, but I'll talk to you all later. Hi guys, it's 11:40 and I am 28, almost 29% of the way through the Gilded ones, which is really good. I read 121 pages in less than an hour, so I'm flying through this and I'm enjoying it. I'm very sick of women having absolutely no control over anything. I'm really sick of that plot line, gonna be honest, and that's exactly what this book is. It's like their holy text is all about how women have to be subservient and can only work at home and blah blah blah, and only girls get the blood test, and I'm just like done with it. I think at first I thought all people got the blood test once they hit a certain age. Honestly, I still don't know what that age is. I know like they're not allowed to bleed once they hit 15, which like, what are you gonna do if they do bleed and it bleeds red? Like, I don't know. But I just like, I don't know. I'm just sick of it. I like get the blood test, fine, you know, but I don't know why women have to be put down in this, because it literally doesn't do anything for the story. Just like make everyone get the blood test. Like, you know, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I just wish there was a reason other than the Bible said it, you know, maybe because like it turns out the Gilded, or the people with gold blood, are actual descendants of demons. And so it's like, maybe if like it turned out that the demons could only have female children because they don't have Y chromosomes or something, I don't know. Like, I'd get it. But maybe there is and they just haven't talked about it, or I don't know. I don't understand. There is something, but it's fluff. Ugh. If you saw my last week's vlog, I'm haunted. This house is haunted. There's a literal ghost living in my basement. Go check out my other vlog. I have like a 9-minute like spiel about it or story time about it. Yeah, so I'm just very jumpy all the time now. It's really fun. It's really fun, especially because this room has no walls, no door, so it's just like open. Anyways, I'm just like really sick of women having to be put down and not given a reason besides the Bible for this world, like this world's Bible. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm really done with that plot line. I really am. And this is no different. And I'm especially done about it from female authors. But here we are. But I am enjoying it. The writing is good. I really like our main character. Yeah, so I'm having a good time. I'm flying through it. So I am going to try and get to 50%, which I should be able to. I only have probably like around 21% left. I know I'm like at 28%, but like I have a feeling I'm very close to 29%, so I'm gonna say I've got 21% left. And I flew through the first 29% like in an hour, and I read 121 pages, so I've got less than 100 pages left. So I have no worries about finishing it, and I've decided I'm going to start a Bookstagram account, the Fantasy Fanatic. I will leave it linked down below. So I'm also, after I'm done, I'm gonna take some photos. Even though it's dark out, I've got a light, and so I'm gonna like hold up the light and hold up my camera and like take photos, because I don't know, I just want to. I used to have a Bookstagram on my regular like Instagram account, and that was just kind of weird. Like, I don't know. And so I'm gonna create a whole Bookstagram account called the Fantasy Fanatic. We'll see. I might have to like add an extra A or something, because like for the Gmail that I have for the Fantasy Fanatic, it's like Fantasy Fanatic, because the Fantasy Fanatic was already used. But anyways, so I'm gonna go, and I will talk to you all once I've hit for 50%. All right, I am 51% of the way through the Gilded Ones. So I'm like 221 pages in. I'm really liking it. Decca's character development is rushed, for sure. Like, in pages, she went from this scared little, like, you know, understandably scared girl to like being like, I'm a demon, like, see my blood, you know, come at me, bro, like, sort of thing. And it just happened way too fast. But other than that, I'm really liking it. I also don't really know how much time has passed. Like, it's very confusing, because she just like, it's like, and then they do this for this amount of days, and then they just jump a lot. So I don't really know how long it's been. It's gotta have been at least some sort of time, because I'm at the point where they're going on their first raid. And then there's also these creatures that they're fighting. So like, they're sent to be a part of this army to fight these creatures, because these creatures migrate every 100 years, and their migration is like starting. And that's why I'm gonna say Decca ends up having a power that is very important and really helpful to the people. And I just like, I don't know, I'm still just like, women aren't even allowed to run. Like, come on, like, really? It's just so extreme. And I just am so sick of those extreme books. So sick of them. It's just, I don't know. It's so unnecessary. That's why I just find it so unnecessary to have this world be this sexist. And women, like, once they hit, like, once their blood is tested, they have to wear something that covers everything down to here, something like that. Which I guess there are actual religions and cultures that do similar things in the real world. So, I mean, like, I get it, but it's also just like, I don't know. I don't quite understand, like, why books, fantasy novels, have to make women always be the ones that are like suppressed and have terrible lives. And our main character, yes, she's having some great character development way too fast, but she's still like, oh, the church is the best, the church is all knowing. It's like, the church has branded you a demon, and like, they're not doing anything for you, so why are you still so dedicated to them? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I'd be like, I don't know. I mean, again, I don't believe in God. So I just like, I have such a hard time understanding that. Where it's like, really, you're gonna put this blind faith into this being that hates you? That hates you? That is like telling men to just suppress women to all hell? That if you got gold blood, you're a demon? Like, I don't understand it. Why follow something that hates you? I don't get it. I don't get it. It just annoys me a lot. It just pisses me off. It makes me angry. But overall, I am enjoying it, flying through it. So yeah, but I'm going to take some photos and then I'm gonna go to bed because I'm tired. But overall, I'm really enjoying it. I'm reading it really fast and I'm really excited to see where it goes. I don't really know what like the end goal of the book is. Like, I don't know. I think this is a series. I don't think it's a standalone, because if it was a standalone, I'd understand the end goal, but I don't think it is. So I don't really know what the final climax is gonna be or anything, but that might be introduced a little bit later. Like, you know, they're like learning because they're at a school or a army camp basically, and so like there might be like some big fight that's coming up or something, but I have no idea. But yeah, 51% the way through. Not really much of like a end plot. Like, I don't know what the end plot is of the book, but overall really liking the plot, really liking our characters. There is maybe a romance brewing that's like okay, but I'm not like really that into it because I think I kind of ship Decca with someone else. But also like I just kind of want her to like become at peace with herself and like learn to love herself before she like gets with someone else. But who knows? I really don't know. Like, they just agreed to like be like actual friends, so it might actually take a lot longer than I think for them to actually get together, but we'll see. So I'm gonna take some photos and then go to bed, so I will not update you till tomorrow. Good night. Hi guys, it's Tuesday. It's 11:13 and I'm 75% of the way through The Gilded Ones. It's okay. I'm starting to like lose it as I go along. I don't know, I feel like it's because we still don't really have a plot, and I mean Decca's kind of starting to annoy me. I don't know, it's like there's just like, I feel like it's starting to fall into so many different tropes where it's like she just realized, she's like, what if we're not the good guys? And like, you know, just like ridiculous stuff like that where it's like, okay, right. You think these people that kill you are the good guys. Like, I don't know. I'm just like having such a hard time with it. I feel like she's still just so naive where like her character development is like way above like what it should be in some aspects, but then like lacking in others. And I don't know, I'm just not, it's just kind of starting to drag for me. I'm also just so tired. I went to bed really late last night, so I kind of just want to go to sleep, but I also want to finish this. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to. This might be my last update for the night, and I might just finish this tomorrow, give myself 3 days to read A Memory Called Empire, or try and read a lot tomorrow. Tomorrow's my birthday, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm still not sure what I'm doing, but we'll see. I do want to get some more reading in. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm so tired. I want to go to sleep, but I'm gonna try and read some more. I don't know, I finished like at 75% and on a chapter break, so I might just put this away and go to sleep because I'm super tired. I didn't go to sleep until like 2 this morning, and I had to get up like 4.5 hours later for work, so I might just go to bed and finish this tomorrow and try and start A Memory Called Empire. We'll see, but I'll talk to you all probably tomorrow. Hello. It's Wednesday, my birthday, and I have finished 2 books since I last talked to you. One yesterday and one today, and I'm really excited. The first one I finished was The Gilded Ones. I did end up finishing it last night. It was on my Kindle, so I just laid in bed like in the dark reading, and I ended up finishing it right before midnight. It was bad. The first half I really liked, and then it just went so downhill. It felt like 2 totally different stories. I think it should have been like a first book and then maybe what happened in the second half being like the sequel, because it felt like it came out of nowhere. And I had the issue where I was like, I don't really know what the end plot is. Well, that's because it wasn't even introduced until the second half of a 430 page book. If this was like 1,000 pages, you know, huge tome that like ebbs and flows, that'd be one thing. But this is like a shorter novel. And the fact that like in the second half, they introduced all of this stuff and like these plot twists that were just like, I don't know, I don't think it makes sense. So yeah, I was really disappointed with the second half. This book was shaping up to be about like a 4 or 4.25, even with like the really fast character development and the plot. And even though the timeline didn't make any sense at all, I still liked the writing. I liked our characters. I liked the plot. But after that, it's a 3. I hated the second half. I think it was so it just flipped. This book was like going in one direction, then all of a sudden it was like, JK, that's a red herring that you've been reading for the past 50%. Here's the real plot line. And it wasn't alluded to, it wasn't foreshadowed, it just all of a sudden happened. And I don't know, some of like the explanations were real hazy. And I just don't think they were supposed to be in the same book. I think this should have been like a second book revelation and maybe a series overall sort of plot line. But it just like, something was introduced and our main character was like immediately like, yep, this is my sole focus. This is what I have to do. And like all this stuff. And it was like, wait, like you're not even, I don't know how to describe it. It just like happened way too fast. All of this stuff was introduced and then it was basically resolved like so quickly and it just didn't make sense. So really disappointed. I was really bummed about that because I really liked the first half. And then the timeline, I'm still so confused. It felt like we were reading a book that took place over maybe a month and a half, but like they went through all of their training and then they started fighting and then they became so well renowned by the king that they like went to war with him, and that like all of this stuff happens that you would think would take like months to years, and instead it barely like, I don't know, it like happened so fast. And time was like an abstract concept. Like time was never referenced except like once, whereas like she wasn't allowed to go into this library till she'd been there for 3 weeks. And so then when she was able to go to the library, that's like the only time sort of situation we ever got. It literally felt like it all happened in maybe a month and a half. And it just didn't make any sense. So everything was super rushed. And then this other plot line was introduced and wrapped up just way too fast. And yeah, so 3 out of 5 stars. And then I finished my audiobook, Bloodhound by Tamora Pierce, and I really liked this. I love Becca as a main character, and I really like Tamora Pierce. Even though these are kind of, well, this series is a little bit darker and older audience, but most of her series are like basically middle grades. And they, like, our main characters are like, they're dating and they like have sex, and there's relationships that like they start and then end, and it feels so natural. I just love Becca. I really like our supporting characters. And unlike the first book, this was not rushed. Terrier, I feel like there were, because they had like 2 plot lines that were wrapped up. This only had like the one main like bad guy plot line, and it felt really like it had run its natural course. I really, really enjoyed it. I love Becca and it was great. The only problem, and I do find this with a lot of Tamora Pierce's books, is that there seems to be like a plot line for most of the series and then it like switches at the last book. And the problem I have with this one is that the 2 books, Terrier and Bloodhound, aren't really connected at all except characters. Like there's not one overarching plot line besides like Becca being a cop. But then it's not like a series that's like a bunch of, you know, cop stories. It's a trilogy and it's done. So I'm not sure like what the trilogy is like working towards as a whole. And yeah, and I only have 1 book left and I still am like, there's like, I have absolutely no idea what's happening next. So that is a little concerning. So I did give it a 4.5 because of that, because I just don't see the connection and why it's a trilogy. Like both of these books could have been standalones. Terrier could have, well, my computer just went dark. Terrier could have been a standalone. Bloodhound could have been a standalone. There's honestly no connection between the 2 except characters. So that is a little weird, but we'll see once I read Mastiff next month. But I am gonna start My Contrary Mary, or continue. I started, I've only listened to like an hour. but I'm gonna continue that, and I will chat with you all once I've either made progress with that or with a memory called Empire. And then again, this is about a girl who has a position. I don't really know what, it's an ambassador. And then when an ambassador of a planet dies, she is sent to take his spot, and she believes he was murdered, but she's the only one who thinks so, and she thinks that they're gonna start being picked off like one by one or something. This is like the third book I've read that's kind of like that and then there were none trope, like this month. Like it happened in Gideon the Ninth, it happened in A Local Habitation, and now it's happening in this one, which is like kind of funny. But I am really excited to see how this goes. This was the winner of like the Hugo or the Nebula Award for 2020, so I think I'm gonna really enjoy it. But I've got to get back to work. Oh no, it's my lunch break. So I'm gonna take my lunch and I will talk to you all later. Hello. It is almost the end of my birthday. It's 11:50, and I thought I would update you. So I am 155 pages into a memory called Empire, and I'm surprised. I thought she was gonna get to this planet or space station and kind of like then realize that like her predecessor was killed, but she knows like immediately. And what I do really like is that like the new ambassador is imbued with like the memories of the old ambassador, but someone like purposefully messed it up so that she doesn't have his most current memories. And so I just don't know why she immediately jumped to the conclusion that he was killed. I wish we saw that happen. We also, I don't think, have been introduced to this big technological secret, but I might be wrong. I just didn't notice anything that's like too like surprising yet about like technology. You are thrown into the thick of things, I'll give them that. It is very much like stuff is happening, like she's kind of thrown into the middle of political unrest as we're learning, and like all this stuff is happening. I'm enjoying it, I'm flying through it, I'm reading this so fast. But yeah, I don't really have any other real thoughts about it yet. I'm 155 pages through and I'm enjoying it. I like her main character. She's super smart and really like, she takes the time to kind of assess all her options and decide what to do, but she's very fast on her feet. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. Then I thought I would show you the book that I got for my birthday from my stepdad. I really wanted it, and then I called my local bookstore and they had one left. My heater just turned on, so I do apologize if you can hear that. But they only had one left, so I'm really excited. And that's 1,000 Ships by Natalie Haynes. This tells the story of the Iliad, but from like the women's point of view. So I'm assuming like Briseis and Helena of Troy, maybe Penelope. I don't know if it tells both the Iliad and the Odyssey. It's definitely shorter than I thought it was going to be. Like, let's see how many pages there are. There's like 350 pages, so definitely shorter than I thought it would be, but I'm really excited. I love this cover. I think it's gorgeous. I love the gold foiling, and I just think it really tells of like ancient Greek because of like the vase and everything. And then my stepsister texted me saying that I have a trilogy on the way from her, and it should get here tomorrow, so I will unbox that for you. I don't know what it is. She has good experiences in the past with book buying. Like she got me Crave by Tracy Wolff for Christmas, which I haven't read yet, but I'm really excited to, but I hadn't read it. And then last time she sent me a whole trilogy for, I want to say Christmas, was the Reader trilogy by Tracy Chi. I feel like it was something like that. And it was the Reader, the Speaker, and the Storyteller, and I ended up really enjoying that trilogy. So I'm really excited to see what she sends me. Hi guys, it is Thursday, and I just got my package from my stepsister. I have to do this really fast because I'm working, but I wanted to open it with all of you. Oh my gosh, this is like, whoa. Oh my God, she got me the whole trilogy. I brought up the blade itself and she got me the whole thing. Oh, I love her so much. So I got the blade itself, Before They Are Hanged, and The Last Argument of Kings. That is so sweet of her. I was like, I'm just interested in Joe Abercrombie. He's a pretty famous fantasy author. Ignore, I'm like covered in pimples. It's the worst. But he's a pretty famous fantasy author. And I had heard that this is a good place to start, is this series. And she got me the whole thing. I cannot believe it. I'm gonna have to call her and thank her profusely because Wow, 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 wow. This is amazing. I appreciate her so much. I'm so excited. On the box, it says, unpredictable, compelling, wickedly funny, and packed with unforgettable characters. The first Law trilogy is the absolute peak of epic fantasy. I have heard great things. Honestly, I haven't heard many people say they don't like it, so I'm really excited to check it out. But now I gotta get back to work and call her and thank her, and I'll talk to you all later. I have started My Contrary Mary, or I mean, I continued. It's okay. The narrator is, I don't really like the narrator, and honestly might be that I'm listening to it on the NetGalley app, and so it's just got a little weird. It's almost like echoey, which I really don't like, and then it's also just like very monotonous, so I'm not loving the experience. I'm not even really liking the experience. But I do really want to read this, and I'm really excited to read it. So I'm enjoying the story, kind of. Like, I'm not even really enjoying the story, but also I'm not that far in. I have like 5 hours, like actual hours of listening time, so I have just under like 10 hours of the audiobook left. So hopefully it gets going and I get into it, but I'll talk to you all later. Hi guys, it's Friday. It was an insane day. It was so much. I didn't even finish everything that I needed to finish, so I'm gonna be working a little bit tomorrow, which sucks. But I am 100 pages from the end of A Memory Called Empire, and it's okay. I'm just having a hard time following along, and like, I don't know, looking back at the story as a whole, I don't feel like a lot has happened. Like, our main character is taking over this ambassadorship after her predecessor dies, and everyone's trying to brush it off as like a accident, but then like death, like she keeps almost getting killed basically, and so she's like trying to figure out who killed this last ambassador, and it's just like, there is a technological component to it, but I don't know, like our Katie Martine saying like, trying to save her world from expansion, like I don't really see that, like where that's happening or anything, and so it's just like, I don't know, it's okay. I'm finding it a little boring and just really hard to focus. I am like kind of just going through the motions a little bit, which isn't great, and yeah, so we'll see. But it's like 10:45, so I'm going to finish this right now and then chat with you all about my end thoughts. I also just started a Bookstagram. I posted my first photo, woohoo, and I'm really excited about it, but I'll talk to you all once I finish the book. All right, it's like 11:30. I'm tired, I'm going to bed, but I did finish A Memory Called Empire, and I wish the last little bit was how the rest of the book went, because the last little bit was really exciting, really fun. There was a coup and like political prisoners and all this stuff that was happening, and I dug it, but the rest of the book wasn't like that, so I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Little disappointing, but also I didn't really have any expectations going into it, so I'm okay. But yeah, the last 60 pages was really fun, really good, really fast-paced, high stakes. The other 380 pages, not so much. It was just slow, and I don't know, it's kind of like confusing, and I feel like no one is getting repercussions for their actions. Like, we find out who killed the last ambassador, and like nothing bad happens to them, and it's just kind of like, okay, so it's basically just saying like, you can do whatever you want, you can kill whoever you want, and you won't get in trouble for it. So I didn't love that at all. Yeah, so 3.5. I feel very average on it, but I think that might be me. Like, I don't know, I just had such a hard time like focusing, so that might be a me problem, honestly. Next book I'm gonna read is The Library of the Unwritten, which I am so excited for. I'm giving myself the next 2 days to read it, and I cannot wait. I'm so pumped. I'm so ready for it. This is one that if I don't like it, I'm going to be so disappointed. So I'm really hoping I like it. I'd be really sad if I didn't. I have to work for a little bit. I don't know what time. I'm gonna like sleep in and everything and then just like work once I wake up. But I'm going to plan on listening to My Contrary Mary the whole time. I didn't listen to it at all today, which I think was a bad choice. I don't know, I was just kind of in a weird mood today while I was doing my job because it was so busy. I just didn't want to like listen to like do something that required like real brain power. So I watched iCarly because it's on Netflix now. Oh my god, it's so like, jeez, like iCarly was my childhood. I loved it. And so it's just fun to rewatch it. But yeah, so while I work tomorrow, my plan is to just listen to My Contrary Mary the whole time. It shouldn't take me like, I'm hoping it won't take longer than like 2 hours, but we'll see. Anyways, sorry, I'm gonna go to bed and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night. Hi guys, it's Saturday and I just finished work. It's like 11 or 1:30, 1:25. And I've also listened to quite a bit of My Contrary Mary. I'm over halfway and I'm not liking it very much. I feel like all the characters are being really stupid and really annoying and just, I don't know, I just don't like it. I don't like it. And it's not even like Mary is an effigen, which means that she can shapeshift. And in a lot of countries, including France, that's illegal. So like if that was the case and she was hiding it from Francis, I'd get it. But she isn't. Like Francis knows. And yet like everyone is keeping secrets from everyone. And it's just not good. And it's just really annoying me. And all of the characters are annoying me. And I'm really bummed about it. And the audiobook is terrible. It's so bad. And also like, I don't know, the writing, it's like, when her lady in waiting like turns into a dog, it's like woof said Fleck, or whatever her name is, bark said blank, boom. And it's just like so annoying. Hi, I was interrupted earlier, but I am here. I ended up just eating lunch right after chatting with you and then going to the gym and then taking a shower. But so I'm over 50% of the way through My Contrary Mary, and yeah, not really liking it. Honestly, I'm finding all the characters really annoying, really unrelatable, and just, I don't know. And I feel like there's no plot. Like they're just going along and I'm like, even though now we're like in the thick of things, I'm still like, okay, so what's the plot? And I just don't, it just doesn't really feel like there's any story there, which is a little unfortunate. But I also went to the mailbox and my fairy loot came. So I'm going to open it probably tomorrow. And I'm really excited because I've been able to keep away from spoilers and I'm just super pumped to open it. I do know what the book is because Greek mythology is obviously lore, but I'm pumped. Now, I'm going to read a bit of the Library of the Unwritten, then I'm going to edit and upload a video. So I'll talk to you all later. Hi everyone, it's 11:16 on Saturday and I have edited and uploaded my Winter Wishes unboxing, so please go check that out. And I'm 82 pages into the Library of the Unwritten and I'm really enjoying this. So this is about a woman who is the head librarian of this library that's basically in hell, but it's not like ran by hell, and it is where all the unfinished stories live, and stories can manifest into humans and escape, and our librarian's main goal is to like go and bring them back. But when bringing back a story who has gone rogue, she runs into an angel who is looking for the devil's Bible that he thinks she has. She doesn't, but now she's kind of getting swept up into this and trying to find this devil's Bible before the angels do, because if they do, it could mean war between like demons and angels. And she's got her apprentice who's like this green-skinned, blue-haired person, or vice versa, or both blue, I can't remember, and a demon who can't remember anything, but it turns out he might have actually been like human, who like when he died his soul decided that he needed to have amnesia and become like a demon until he thinks he's repented or something. I do really like this idea where it's like it depends on what your soul believes, like is where you go, whether you go to like heaven or hell, it depends on like your soul, like at its like deepest level, like what it thinks you deserve. And then you don't have to stay in hell like always. It's like until your soul believes you've repented, which is, I think, just like a really interesting concept. But I really like our main character Claire. I like our side characters. I'm really interested to see where the story goes. But 82 pages in, she has already returned this book like back to her library, but then also has just started learning about the Devil's Bible. And I'm intrigued to see where it goes next. I'm supposed to get to like 186 pages, but honestly, I'm very tired. So I'm going to read as much as I can. I put out a video, so I don't have to worry about that tomorrow. So I'm feeling really good about where I am with everything. And I already have my Instagram photo for tomorrow. I do have an Instagram. I will be leaving it now linked in all my videos, so please go check that out as well. But I'm going to put you down and read as much as I can of the Library of the Unwritten until I fall asleep. And hopefully I will update you tonight. All right, it's 12:15 and I am 187 pages into the Library of the Unwritten, so I'm just at 50%, and I'm really enjoying this. I'm really liking the plot, I'm really liking like the places that they're going, and it's just fascinating. And I love just the idea of like a library and her being a librarian, and it's just like a really good time. I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying the angel's point of view less, which like I think makes sense. He's the angel who's like chasing after them to find the Devil's Bible, and I just like wish we had more of him so that I could start to like him. I can sympathize with him, but I'm not liking him, and it's like we get like a couple pages here and there of like his point of view, and I wish that we got more so that we could like connect with him more. But so far I really like Claire. I like her demon lackey and her assistant. And I'm just, yeah, I'm enjoying it. There's nothing else I can really say without like giving anything away, but they're going to like different places, like Valhalla. That's like one place I'll say, you know. So it's like interesting how like hell, there's a hell and there's a heaven, but there's also like different heavens based on, and hells based on like, you know, different like religions and beliefs. And so it's like really interesting and I'm enjoying it. But I'm gonna go to bed and I will talk to you all tomorrow. My plan is to finish Library of the Unwritten and maybe make some more progress in my Contrary Mary. Still not liking it. I haven't listened to any more since I last talked to you about it, but yeah, not liking it. Finding all the characters stupid and annoying, so we'll see. Good night. Hi guys, it is Sunday. I just opened my January Fairy Loot. I did enjoy the box. It's not as great, honestly, as I thought it was going to be. I mean, I love the book and I read the book and really enjoyed it. And I do like a few of the items, but on a whole, there's like 2 items that like I'm never gonna use, which is a bit of a bummer. Yeah, so kind of 50-50. There were a couple items I really liked, a couple items that I'm never gonna use. So yeah, a little bit of a bummer, but that's okay. I haven't read anything. I didn't listen to my Contrary Mary. I just, you know, I worked out, I helped my mom clean, I learned how to cook like a specific lunch that we've been eating. And yeah, but now I'm at my dad's house. I don't know how long I'm going to be alone, but I'm going to try and now just like sit down and do some reading. First, I think I'm gonna edit, or I'm gonna post the Winter Wishes unboxing on Instagram, and then I'm gonna sit down and do some reading. But we'll see how long it takes for my dad to be here. And then I'll talk to you all once I've finished it or gotten further into Library of the Unwritten. I'm halfway through, so I've got like 180 something pages left, and I'll talk to you later. Hi guys, it is 1:08 on Monday morning, and I just finished the Library of the Unwritten, and I really liked this. This was so much fun. I thought it was a great idea. I really liked our characters. I liked the twists and turns, and yeah, I really liked this. I loved our side characters. I really liked Claire as a main character, and I think I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was just really good, really unique. I'm really excited to pick up the sequel. Yeah,
it's really all I've got because the rest would be spoilers. But I think it was just really fun and just a really great story. I'm really excited to see where it goes. But I thought I would wrap up my reading for the week. So this week I finished 4 books. The first book was Bloodhound, which was the sequel to Terrier by Tamora Pierce, which I ended up giving a 4.5 out of 5 stars. And then I finished The Gilded Ones by Mina Forma, which I ended up giving a 3 out of 5 stars. The first half I really enjoyed, second half really didn't like. Then I finished A Memory Called Empire by Arkady Martine, which I ended up giving a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It just, and I think this is more me than the book, I just had a really hard time focusing on it, and I just ended up not really being that interested in the plot. And then the last book that I finished this week was The Library of the Unwritten by A.J. Hackwith, which I ended up giving a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Really, really enjoyed. I highly, highly recommend it. And then I have started my Contrary Mary, and I'm like 59% of the way through, something like that. It's okay, not liking it really much at all, and I really don't suggest the audiobook. But that is for next week. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye.